Good morning, USA. This is your host, Mr. Nick. Why don't we start off with our current weather conditions? We'll start with Naples, Florida today. Current temp is 88, feels like 96, high 91, and you're already well on your way. Looks like you got partly cloudy, and your current closest lightning strike is 292 miles away. And looks like there's nothing on the radar for you today. You do have an alert, which I believe is no, don't. I'm sorry. I lied. Not really, I just made a mistake. So then, back to Traverse City, Michigan, if you live in or near that area, or in the northern peninsula of Michigan. Your current temperature will be about 64 degrees, feels like 64, high of 67, low 57. Currently very little rain on the radar, not in the area, just nearby. The closest lightning strike to temperature nearby is 150. And we'll move on here to the next set of current weather conditions, courtesy of WeatherBug, Germantown, Maryland. We don't mind the plug. Just a moment while I get rid of my Alrighty, so if you live in or near Sherwood, Maryland, basically the eastern shore of Maryland, Easton, your current temp is about 80, feels like 80, high 84, low 73, no rain on the radar currently showing. And your current closest lightning strike, if you live in or near Sherwood, Maryland, Easton, Maryland, that area, 199 miles. And you're looking pretty sharp. It looks like you have a full sunny day out there. Enjoy. Stay hydrated. If you live in and or near Claxton, Georgia, again, this is courtesy of WeatherBug out of Germantown, Maryland, and I certainly hope they don't mind a plug. Your current temp is 81 if you live in Claxton, Georgia, high 83, low 73. Currently looks like you're showing rain on the radar. Or nearby. Yeah, looks like a little bit of rain nearby. Or there. 50% chance of light rain for you today in Claxton, Georgia. Watch those storms if they blow through. Northern Michigan just had a pretty good storm, and it wasn't great. It was kind of rough. It was a long one, which is very unusual for the part of Michigan I live in. It is very unusual for us to get that long of a storm. Usually they blow through here, and they blow through in about 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes, and then they're gone. And then sometimes we get another one soon, and sometimes we don't get any for a week or two. And it's because of all the water around us. So at any rate, now if you live in and or near Big Rapids, Michigan, your current temp is 61, feels like 61, high is 67, low of 53. Looks like you have a cloudy day in store for you in Big Rapids. Your current closest lightning strike to Big Rapids is 174 miles. That is Big Rapids, Michigan, by the way. And then for Cadillac, Michigan, your current temp is, if you live in Cadillac, Michigan, is 63 degrees. Feels like 63, high 67, low 51. You have a cloudy day in store for you today. 156 miles is your closest lightning strike. Looks like you have rain nearby on the radar. Just over the lake. Just barely over the other side of the lake. Lake Michigan. If you live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, it's coming. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is 75 degrees is current temp. Feels like 75, high 76, low 51. Looks like you got some rain on the radar there. Current closest lightning strike is 69 miles away. Stay alert, please. Monitor those storms. And then let's see if we can get you set up here for northeastern Illinois. How's that sound? One moment, please stand by. And we're back. Good morning, USA. This is your host, Mr. Nick. Yeah, if you live in northeastern Illinois, your current temp is 65. Feels like 65, high high 70, low of 57. And you have a strong possibility of thunderstorms for the next high thunderstorm probability for next 3 hours. You have no active alerts in the region. If you live in northeastern Illinois, please stay advised and keep up on those storms. Because if you could see when it blew through northern Michigan, it was a pretty intense one in some places. So hang in there and watch your weather reports. Watch your meteorologists. All right. And your current closest lightning strike, if you live in northeastern Illinois, is 148 miles away. Looks like you currently have some rain nearby. It looks like it's on the radar and fairly nearby. So stay tuned there. And now for our top headlines of the day. Let's do that, huh? You guys want to do that, don't you? Top headlines of the day. I got an interesting article for you from the Conservative Tribune. Trump looking at new Air Force One. Who ordered it will have CNN freaking out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, this is going to be good, huh? Prepare to be inundated with breathless renewal of Russian collusion. Allegations by the liberal Trump-hating media after it was just revealed where the administration's new Air Force One presidential jets will be coming from. Recall that prior to his inauguration, newly elected Donald Trump had publicly engaged in negotiations with Boeing over the inflated costs of replacing the pair of presidential jets, and promised to ultimately bring those costs to the taxpayer down to a more reasonable level. Kind of makes sense to me. Quite a bit, actually. I shouldn't have to be paying for those jets. Neither should you. It appears that just such a thing on the verge of happening as Defense News reported that the Air Force is about to finalize a deal with Boeing that would procure 2 brand new, already built 747 8-passenger jets that were never delivered to the original purchaser. That initial purchaser was, oh boy, stand by. That initial purchaser was Russian airline Transero, who declared bankruptcy and reneged on their purchase in 2015, just months after ordering the planes. Obviously, the planes were never delivered to them and instead were sent to the boneyard upon completion, and after test flights, a massive aircraft storage and scrapyard in the Mojave Desert. For older retired jets and new aircraft with no owners. Are you kidding me? Gonna waste all the taxpayer money on just letting them go? Defense News noted that Air Force most likely scored quite a good deal by procuring the 2 already built jets from the boneyard instead of having 2 new jets built from scratch. New and delivered jets of this type generally are listed for around $390 million, though there will certainly be additional costs after purchases. The aircraft are further upgraded with top-of-the-line secure communications equipment and defensive countermeasures, along with a custom interior fit for a president and his traveling coterie of advisors. And I hope you guys, I hope I didn't slaughter that word. Of advisors and staff. Oh yeah, in the media. Oh boy, what's up with the media? We're working through the final stages. Of coordination to purchase 2 commercial 747-8 aircraft and 747B aircraft, and expect to award a contract soon. Air Force spokesman Ann Stefanik stated a finalized deal could be officially announced by the Pentagon as soon as next week. Boeing spokeswoman Caroline Hutchinson stated, "We're still working toward a deal to provide 2 747, it looks like 2 747-8s to the Air Force. This deal is focused on providing a great value for the Air Force and the best price for the taxpayer. Trump promised that he would reduce the cost of taxpayers of replacing the pair of Air Force One presidential jets that has been ordered by the government, and it appears that he is doing just that by picking up two perfectly good aircraft that had been abandoned by a defunct Russian airliner at a bargain. Hey, what do you know? That guy's a pretty smart guy, I think. Okay. How about one more headline? Let's see what we got going here. And so I realize some of these might be a little old. I had to work yesterday, and I come back to the house. I just was nuts. I was pretty sick. So I might be a little off on my news cycle here. Trying to keep it up. And let's see if I can give you one more headline here of the day. Alright, well, here's a pretty good one we'll go with. Stand by, please. This is dated August 4th. Hey, this is alright. This is today's. Mom explains how she raised a Navy SEAL son. Every American needs to hear this. This is again from the Conservative Tribune by Martin Walsh. And it was done on August 4th, 2017. Serving your country means you are ready to make the ultimate sacrifice, risking your own life to ensure others can enjoy basic freedoms. Sounds reasonable to me. Conservative radio host Glenn Beck hosted Karen Vaughn on Thursday to discuss her new book, World Changer, A Mother's Story, The Unbreakable Spirit of U.S. Navy SEAL Erin Vaughn, where she spoke about how she and her husband raised a resilient kid at an farm into becoming a strong man defending his country. As a small-town boy from Tennessee, Erin Vaughn, Karen's son, was one of 30 American servicemen who died on Extortion 17, a Chinook helicopter that was shot down by a Taliban rocket-propelled grenade in August 2011. It was the single greatest loss of American life in the Afghan war. I've got to question that one. Why, if that was the same incident where, they stuffed a helicopter full of our military, the previous administration, they knew what the hell they were doing. They absolutely knew what the hell they were doing. And they must be held accountable. That's an atrocious loss of life. It should have never happened. Rather than being defeated by their son's death, the Vaughn family decided to continue his legacy of protecting American values. What I realized after Erin died was, he gave his life for me, fighting a battle kinetically to protect and preserve the American way of life, not a government, not a piece of land, but a way of life, Karen Vaughn said. And my husband and I have dedicated our lives to fighting culturally, as you do, to protect the same. It's worth dying for, and that's it. And that it's up to all of us inside the boundaries of this nation to protect and preserve in the interior of this nation. What so many are giving their lives to excuse me just a moment. What so many are giving their lives to protect and preserve from the exterior of the nation, she added. These silly videos keep popping up, excuse me. Vaughn went on to recall one story between Erin and a huge white cow named White Cow on their farm that had a major impact on his life. One day, instead of letting Erin cower in fear to this cow, Billy's father said, "I'm going to tell you what, you're going to stand at the fence right now. And when white cow, and when white cow, I'm going to herd the cows in. When white cow confronts you, if she charges you, son, you've got to punch her in the nose, Vaughn explained. I'm sitting there thinking Aaron weighed like 60 pounds soaking wet. You know, he's about 10 years old, I think, and I was like, you're going to do what? But he let Aaron do it. I stood back and let him do it. And Aaron did. White cow sure enough charged Aaron that day, Vaughn said. She explained that when the cow charged her son, he reached back and punched the animal right in the nose. The mom said Aaron started to become a man that day because she took a step back and let him handle the situation himself. And Aaron learned that day that there was no challenge too great for him. And this is what drove him to become not only a Navy SEAL, but all the way to the pinnacle of SEAL Team 6, she said. Stories highlight the ultimate sacrifice made by many should be taught to. Highlighting the ultimate sacrifice made by many should be taught to children across the country. It is also nice to finally have a president who honors our military and makes his appreciation known to our brave men and women in uniform. H.T. Glenn Beck sharing this story on Facebook and Twitter. If you agree with how this mother raised her son from a small town kid into an American hero serving his country, what do you think of this mother's story? Scroll down to comment below. Again, this is coming from the Conservative Tribune. And very good story there. Very good story. So folks, I'm going to be gathering some, trying to get some new equipment. You can also follow me on VidMe, Rise Up America 51. Rise Up America 51. Tried a couple different ways. Tried typing it all in as like one phrase all together. Capital A, capital U, capital A. And then the number 51. So at any rate, hopefully I can get some new devices, new hardware, new video equipment. It probably won't happen till October, as I am going on vacation. I'm going to go see a couple of family members. Undisclosed to you, my viewer. Sorry. Anyway, I will have lots of fun, probably lots of pictures when I come back, and I might be taking a week or two off. Well, maybe a little bit more time. We'll see. If it works out and I can get a couple videos out here and there, I will do. And then maybe by October, look for this to be a full-fledged program, morning program, around about 7 a.m., maybe 7:30 a.m. And my hope is to directly compete with Good Morning America, Today's Show, and the likes. So I'm hoping, guys, I'm hoping you enjoy the program. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see anything else. Let me know how I'm doing. And please like, comment, and share on anything else. I sure hope you take advantage of this. You guys have a great day. This is Mr. Nick. Thanks again for tuning in to Good Morning USA. God bless. I'm out.